Every new endeavor, every new pursuit that truly matters, be it our careers, personal lives, relationships, or even hobbies, they each demand those two things: a commitment to the long game and willingness to sacrifice. Now, sacrifice can take many forms. It can be material. You might think to invest in course or education, but that's, even though it can come with a price tag, often it actually is the easy part. The true sacrifice, the kind that fuels real growth, is about giving up something far more precious: your time, your effort, those limited resources that are so hard to part with and are often irreplaceable. When I speak of sacrifice, I mean giving up the time you could spend with friends, family, time you could spend relaxing or pursuing your hobbies. Instead of that, you pour your time into consistent hard work, day in and day out. This is the essence of true sacrifice: doing something that does not offer instant gratification, something that requires patience and unwavering dedication before you see the fruits of your labor. And that brings us to the second crucial element: long game. The long game. Sacrifice doesn't usually yield results overnight. It demands consistent effort, not just for one time burst of energy or putting in some real work over a couple hours or a couple days. Many of us start new ventures with fiery passion, working tirelessly, but as the initial hype fades, the excuses start to creep in. And the worst thing about excuses is they're often valid. Life gets in the way, we find reasons to do something else, and slowly but surely we start to stray from our path. This is where the long game mentality becomes your anchor. Without it, you're most likely going to abandon your goals when the going gets tough. It is easy to get distracted by daily problems and lose sight of the bigger picture. The beauty of the long game and sacrifice is that they work hand in hand. They are two sides of the same coin, and without it, we can't achieve anything of significance. Looking back on my almost 40 years in this world, boy, am I getting old. So looking at on my moderately long journey into this world, I can say with certainty that every achievement worth remembering demanded both of these things. I've had my fair share of false starts, moments where I thought I was working hard, but was really just coasting and barely putting in minimum effort. Then came the turning points, the moments when things got tough and I had to make a choice. Do I give up, move to another time, or do I double down and actually see my efforts through? This is what happened to me when I made my decision to truly commit to immigrating to the US. Since my very first journey over here, I loved it. I knew that I wanted to come here and actually live in this amazing place. And I told myself that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm working towards. But what I actually did was far different. I started coming over for a couple months over the summers, and while it was fun to visit and make some money, even though I worked harder than most when I was actually here, I was not really working towards my goal of immigrating here. I was simply wasting time and having fun. Many people that I knew do this for years, decades sometimes, traveling back and forth, never really getting anywhere until one day they simply stay home. And that is exactly where I was headed. And the moment I actually realized this, I was furious with myself because these things are not obvious when you go through them in real time. So I decided enough, this isn't what I want. And I resolved that on my next trip, I am buying a one-way ticket and I'm not coming back. It was a decision that I will sacrifice for a long time. I knew it meant that I would be separated from loved ones. I will commit to countless hours of hard work, juggling multiple jobs, and all on my own. For nearly 3 or 4 years, I couldn't even consider a high paying career, right? I was just making ends meet. I was working any job I could find. And despite all this, for the first time in a long time, I felt truly happy, satisfied, because I was making progress. The moment I really committed to this is the moment I started making progress towards my goal. It wasn't easy, and it certainly wasn't overnight. But once I embraced those core values, everything changed. So if you take one thing from me today, let it be this: nothing worth achieving comes easy or quickly. It will demand sacrifice. It will require long-term, unwavering effort. And if you're not prepared for this, if you're not ready to commit fully, you will likely fall short. But the moment you accept it, the moment you commit to the long game and embrace the necessary sacrifices, even though it may take months or years to see results. Each and every day you work towards your goals will be a powerful step forward. You will feel that joy, that satisfaction with each and every step. And that, my friends, is where true fulfillment lies.